guys, and welcome to another episode of Adhdz News. Whee! Hey guys, and welcome back. Hope you guys like the really cheap intro. It's a work in progress, but then again, it's kind of supposed to be like that. So, you know, it's alright. Come on, let's carry on. So the first news of the day we're going to be talking about today is kind of interesting. I'm not sure if you guys have actually heard about it yet, but it's actually really funny. You know how in the 70s they impersonated the Hulk and it came out pretty good, remember? You know, get a big guy, paint him green, works fine. Well, modern days, big guys with paint don't work so well. In this case, under Hulk Gone Wrong, Paulo Enrique dos Santos from Brazil, he used the wrong kind of paint. He used basically a paint that's industrial. Not only that, but the paint is used for ballistic missiles and nuclear submarines. Yeah, that's pretty messed up paint. It's and basically ended up taking about 24 hours for them to scrub it off. It was basically his friends, his mother, his family that used all the actual kinds of any kind that they actually even used thinner, to tell you the truth, but they use kind of scrubs, they use any kind of brush that would end up taking it off. You know, anything that ends up taking off that. So next story of the day is going to be of 19-year-old mom leaves son in his car seat on top of her car. Yeah, another situation like that. In this case, it was Catalina Klauser, apparently who had smoked marijuana. Not only that, but was driving under the influence, and she was arrested that the weekend as well. Now, apparently she had forgotten she had left her child on top of the car. It turns out, as soon as she drove off, the car seat actually ended up falling off the car. Neighbors later found the baby in the middle of the street in his seat still. The baby is unhurt and is now in Child Protective Services. And of course, the mother and the boyfriend of the mother are now currently arrested. Okay, so the next one's actually going to be kind of different from what we were talking about earlier. This actually includes an industry that's underground. I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of snuff films. Well, snuff films is basically the same thing as a porn film. The only thing is that in it involves actual killing of the actual person. So let's say, for example, it starts off as a normal adult film, and in the middle of it, out of nowhere, a guy takes out a knife and just starts killing the girl and stabbing the girl. Well, in this case, something happened like that. It's basically Luca Magnotta. I'm not sure if anyone heard just today about the news about it. He promotes himself as a gay porn actor who was arrested today, June 4, 2012, in Berlin in a cafe. He was apparently reading about himself as the officials arrested him. Now, he is most known for dismembering and killing of June Lee, a 33-year-old woman from China who was assisting Concordia University. He faces first-degree murder and is accused of videotaping the murder and posting it on the internet. Now, I'm not going to put anything about that kind of stuff because that's pretty messed up. That's very, you could say, high-class criminal thing. You know, that's not something to mess around with. That's not something good to have. So, I mean, don't find that. Don't look at that. Here's where it kind of gets more messed up. He apparently mailed body parts to Ottawa police and politics. And get this, the Canadian Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, actually received a foot. Pretty messed up. Any of you remember iRobot? I remember that. Remember, it was just basically a commando robot, you know, used for utilities and households, and kind of like a home servant. Well, remember how it looked? Apparently, England is now created, or they actually created its first child-like robot. A robot called iCube, claimed to be the most advanced humanoid robot in Europe. It's already been displayed in Manchester. Scientists have designed the robot to mimic the actions of a child. Their findings could lead to the development of humanoid robots which learn, think, and talk. So, it's going to be kind of like AI, artificial intelligence. That's pretty much the next step that we need to take on with this part right here. Alright guys, the next story and the last story is actually going to be over a zombie prank. You guys have actually heard the news. It's been all over the place about the zombie, or the so-called zombie, but it's actually the cannibalism that occurred in Miami under the bridge. Was basically, it was a man induced in a new kind of drug and a hobo. Weird part was both of them were naked, so it kind of gets a little odd. But basically, there was a man in Miami that actually tried to get this and publicized it into a prank. It's a Miami prankster made a video in which he is dressed up as a zombie and chases random people down the streets. In the video itself, that was actually posted to YouTube under username Vida LYDTV, which was posted on June 2nd, 2012. It runs about 3 minutes, but in it you could basically see he's wearing a dressy clothing and he's covered in blood and he's chasing people all over the park. In it about 2 minutes, it looks kind of like he gets shot, which is pretty dangerous. So if any of you try to mimic him, just be aware that shooting is an option from civilians as well. The funny part is, towards the end of the video, there's a group of basketball players that you could say don't take it too serious, or don't believe the fact that he's actually a zombie, and at the end of the video he's actually being chased down by them. So that's today's news, and I hope everybody enjoyed today's news. I will be posting up more of them. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday kind of thing. So the reason is so that it gives me time to actually look for news, and since I'm the only one actually in here, yeah, unfortunately, so it takes me quite a while to put them up, but I'm going to be doing it a lot quicker now. So thanks for viewing this video. Make sure to like and subscribe at the bottom. Spread the word for people to be more informed, and just keep updated for the next video, alright?
Yeah.